Well, well, color me impressed. Where'd you learn them tricks?
But I'll show the cards. So we got Mamuna with Disturbing card art, which is an epic relic. It has Zeal. It also has an ability to use this order immediately to banish a bronze unit from graveyard, boost self-based power, so the higher the better. And then you also summon a copy of it from your deck. And if you do that, click on Sabbath Condition. You also get to play that copy. So, you know that Griffin exists. Griffin, yeah. Griffin. Who is a 9-point body and has negative deploy. You don't need that Sabbath condition. You can just pull your second Griffin out and bomb, you play a 9. You summon a 9 from the deck, and let me remind you that Mamuna was banish a bronze and boost self, so it goes to 11 and pulls a 9. Go try and push monsters who just have a 20 points off the bat, unless they like and don't find anything from their hand. Also, as Chad points out, Gankian is another card. If you played one in round 1 for 9 points, pull another one. On Sabbath condition, you deploy it, so it gets a buff by the nearby relic, adjacent relics. Why not? And all that for 10 provisions. Monster cards honestly do look pretty good. Finders Keepers. The card art is it's easier to look at the card art. I'll show it a bit later. So thoughts on this one? Thoughts on Mamuna without looking at any of the other monster cards. I feel like there's gonna be a card with kind of high play rate. It's busted. And then we have Self-Eater. Self-Eater, who is a relic. Relic that has an order, and who is a 6/6 on deploy. And then you go and click it, and instead of a 6/6 you have 2 copies of 3 of the Self-Eater. This order is exhausted, of course, but the second copy becomes a 3-point card as well, and both of them do act as an engine, increasing base power by 1 every time you play a relic. And we've seen that relic deck does play some of them. I think it's like you can go up to 12 relics probably in Koshi deck. But of course, like Caretaker and Aguara were cards from multiple decks, so don't expect everyone to put every relic into the deck. Om nom 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 nom. The card art once again is disturbing. Self-Eater, yeah, the name speaks for itself. But this card compared to Larva is a good question. Do you play enough relics or not? But yeah, Self-Eater. Moving on. you click it once. You have 2 engines. You play Relics. It played as an 8-4-6. You continue clicking. You continue playing Relics. It does perform better than Larva if you have like full Relic hand. The problem is this can be damaged. It can be like stopped, and in case of Larva there are 2 copies of them. You don't usually stop both of them even if you try. You can lock 1 copy and you're done with it unless they purify. So maybe we'll see Relic Caretaker back in the meta. He will have more targets to purify, honestly. Incredible. Design is very well done. Design, I do dig design. You can compare it to like Ethereal, but it itself, it multiplies. Of course, you only will have 1 copy. If you play 1 copy of Self-Eater and it is not answered, you only have 1 active order, so you cannot click this second time. Otherwise, it would have been even more busted. If this is damaged by 3, it won't create. It won't allow you to play another copy. To click and create another copy, I mean. So some of the things are balanced so that things do not self-destruct on click. Since we are dealing with the base power, it would have had to, banish itself. It ain't happening. But yeah, you can get it to like 20 points if you play Self-Eater. It doesn't get answered and you play like 4 or 5 relics. So pretty good. Pretty good. Not still sure how Blood in Effigy fits into the total scheme of relics. Don't really see this card taking place. You need relics if you play Self-Eaters. You usually want relics and toll units to proc tribes if you still play Koshei, or if you try to proc Gernikora Fruits. This seems misplaced. And yeah, Bloody Mistress we've seen yesterday. This is the legendary monsters got for 10 provisions. Under Sabbath condition of 25 points, it spawns 2 Gerni fruits and then transforms those into Gerni. You can turn, like if you consume with Barhes to another row, you can turn condition off. So at the end of the turn, Gernikora will transform into Bloody Mistress once again. So Memer's gonna meme. Okay, so yeah. So that everyone can enjoy the card arts. We start with Mamuna. Mamuna is a relic, not spooky at all. Has Zeal, plays for 20 points. We discussed it, so I won't spend a lot of time once again on this one. So looks very spooky, might make you play Karantir and this instead of Koshei. You do have multiple targets for Karantir now. Usually in Koshei deck you either copy this or Larva. When you don't find Koshei, now you have Mamuna. The Zeal ability makes it like Karantiable. But yeah, I do dig monster card arts. It's dark. Then we got Self-Eater, we also discussed this. Yum Yum. It might outperform Larva in a decent deck built to profit from it, but it is easier to answer than Larva. So it halves its power, spawns another copy. If it's unanswered, you get 2 copies of 3 power. On the second turn, you play Relic. Those copies become 4 strength, and the second one at 4 power does have the order ability for you to click again, so you get another 2 strength unit. And yeah, those perform like engines on each Relic play, buff itself by 1. I assume half rounds down. Yeah, that's a good point. Pancake, it does round down, so a 5-1 will spawn 5. Wait, it halves the base power. Anyway, yeah, it does round down, so you are not getting. After clicking this one, if it was at 5 power, the second copy is 3 power, but this will be 2. But you have nothing to do with this, like in terms of clicking it once again. And yeah, as we pointed out before, if it's at 3 power, you cannot click it because otherwise it have to kill itself. So Relic decks, maybe more relics than before. Let's go. A 6 goes to 3, gives you a new 6. Gives you not a new 6. It gives you half this unit's base power. So yeah, math doesn't check out. You click it, you get double 3s. You're not getting another 6. So it's not that broken as you make it to be. So yeah, clicking this creates 2 3 strength units. You play a Relic, they go to 4 strength, and you can click another unit, so it will be 2 copies of it. It's Pop-Tart support, not really. But you can meme with that, play this with Kiki workers. Sure. It doesn't go, you only create 1 extra copy per turn. And you destroy your engines. Okay, then we got Bloody Mistress. Look at this face. It looks like from, I don't know, Grinch movie. But Bloody Mistress is initial Guernicora form. Its ability on the Sabbath at the end of the turn, spawn 2 Guernicora fruits on both sides and transform self into Guerni. We'll look at Guernicora next moment. It does have Breeding Effigy in its hand. And yeah, 2 Guerni fruits sounds pretty good. Guernicora fruit is 1 point token that has Strife on it, and you get 2 of them. And then you transform into Guerni. And Guernicora leader card art is back into the game. Thanks for that, CD Projekt Red, for actually bringing them in form of cards. But yeah, it transforms self into Bloody Mistress if there is no Sabbath. On the Sabbath condition, at the end of your turn, it boosts self for each Guerni fruit on the board. So with Guernicora's fruit leader, you can have 3 per turn engine if your fruits are surviving. The problem with this altogether is that your fruits can be killed. And if you are on the Sabbath condition, it just becomes a 7/10. What can answer 2 Guerni fruits? NR. What can answer Guerni's fruits over the course of couple of turns? Multiple factions, multiple ways. And if you do meet the Sabbath condition already, it's not that easy to turn it off to begin with. And second of all, do you really want to do that? Transforming it back and forth probably will lose you some points. So yeah, this is the legendary, but it's 10 provisions. It's not like a 14 provision gold that you need to play and build around. 10 is more forgiving. to include into your deck. If you look at the current Koshei deck, it allows itself to play She Who Knows. It does play occasional Karantir or Aguara. Maybe not this season, but the previous one for sure. So there is flex in here and there. And the last card monster got is Bleeding Effigy, Arcanic card. I'm not entirely sure you want to play it in a full Relic deck. The card art for monsters is pretty great though, but yeah, it banishes a bronze unit from your opponent's graveyard, so monsters get graveyard hate in form of bronze card this time. And then it boosts by the power. So if you banish Greatsword against Skellige, you love to play this card. Against Anar, you hate this card. Also, why you playing it when you need to play relics for Self-Eaters, for Gaincans, etc, etc. I'm not entirely sure. And if you control Bloody Mistress or Girnikora, you also can target gold units. There are a limited amount of factions that do replay their graveyard gold units, but maybe you'll find some value against Lippy, against Renew Friends, etc. Although those units are usually low power, but at full provisions, like Eating Egon for opponents Ozrel would have been busted for full provisions, so yeah, find your matchups, get a profit. Also, this is organic, so it plays for more points in Araha Swarm. And yes, as Alex pointed, if you want more discussion, you can always join Discord. We do post cards there. So that's for monsters. What are your thoughts, guys? The monsters expansion 1 Once Upon a Pyre introduced 4 cards, and basically all of them in play. The decks were playing to 2600 MMR. The decks were present in the tournaments, so monster package was pretty busted, outperformed many other decks. Meta, of course, changing to an art playing pink units, denied Araha Swarm. There are multiple components to that, but it's easy to point out that as a one. So monsters were pretty successful, and now monsters seem even more busted. So props projects for printing the power creeping cards step by step. That's how you release expansions, so they do make their job. I don't know, monsters look very good. Card art, card power. The only problem with Self-Eaters is that you can't really play full on Relic deck, can you? Like at the moment, if we include all cards we've seen, She Who Knows? I mean, I've seen Ihoraquack's first week of Once Upon a Pyre expansion, but realistically nobody plays this. So She Who Knows, Caretaker, that's 2. Red Catches, that's 3. 4, 5, 6 for the Crowns. 7, 8, 9, 10. So at the moment they do play 10. People will play Necromancy for 11th. Now they do get Gierni. That's 12. And Self-Eaters, that's 14. And you cannot disregard Mamuna, although I'm not sure, like... You cannot play them all, but you are closing on that. You are closing on a full deck.